the Honda Civic. The little car that managed to find its way, lose it, then find it again. It's been 5 years since the 10th generation Civic came along and wowed us with its cutting-edge looks and turbo engine. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. Or do they? With me is the all-new 11th generation Civic. Does it live up to the trail that its predecessor blazed? Let's find out. If you look in the front, the grille looks a bit flat. Hondas are starting to look more and more uniform these days, and this snub-nosed look is something that we saw on the all-new Honda Jazz, which came out 2 years ago. Now if you look up front here, you've got these sleek LED headlamps, you've got this very business-like character lamp that runs along the side, and out back, gone are those sporty boomerang-shaped taillights, and in their place are a couple of more sensible LED lamps. If you compare this to the outgoing Civic, this one looks more like a businessman sedan. It looks something more like what the Accord would look, rather than a Civic. This being the RS variant, it's got a few sporting accents. Things I like include the black cladding up the front, the low-profile tires, and the all-black wheels. Things I don't like that look out of place on a sensible sedan like this are the contrasting side mirrors, contrasting door handles, and the spoiler in the back. I just think it's a bit too much for a sedan that's trying to look a bit more professional. Now this might suggest to you that the all-new Civic has lost its, boy racer character, but that is until you look under the hood. Powering this Civic is a 1.5-liter turbo gasoline engine with 176 horsepower and 240 newton meters of torque. Now the beauty of this is, this thing comes standard across the entire range. So you no longer have to make the decision between, should I go with a turbo, should I go with a non-turbo? Because now you don't really have a choice. You're stuck with this fun thing. Inside this top-of-the-line RS variant, you get these leather seats with red contrast stitching and suede. Same with the steering wheel, you get leather with red contrast stitching. And you get these really cool switches here on the aircon which control the vents. And this nice honeycomb layout, which I think is also really cool. Also comes with wireless charging. And you get wireless Apple CarPlay. Unfortunately, I use an Android. So for this part, I'll get our editor-in-chief, Dinzo, to demonstrate. Now lastly, for the interior amenities, the Honda Sensing suite of safety features comes standard across the entire range. Now in my experience, Hondas are somewhere in the middle when it comes to interior comfort. They're not the most spacious brand out there, but they're also not the most cramped. This all-new Civic has quite a low entry point, so that might prove difficult for some people. Now I'm about 5'5", and well, the headroom isn't great. The legroom is actually quite ample. As mentioned, the all-new Honda Civic gets 1.5-liter turbo gasoline engines across the entire range. Now, some of you might be wondering if that results in any noticeable turbo lag. Alright, so I've got her in sport mode now, I've got a clear straight ahead of me. We'll just do a quick straight line acceleration test to find out if there is any lag. Okay? Nope, no lag. There's no sudden boost either. The power and the torque just comes on gradually and you barely feel the forced induction kicking in. It pretty much behaves like a naturally aspirated engine. In terms of handling, the all-new Honda Civic is quite low to the ground, so it stays mostly planted through corners. Now granted, you still get a little bit of body roll, there's still some understeer, as you'd expect from a front-wheel drive compact sedan. Okay, so we'll just take the corner here, just to see how this thing handles. Right, so come on, brake, go bottom, turn, turn, turn. Alright, so there is some body roll and a little bit of understeer, but overall, especially compared to its competitors in the same segment, this thing is quite the sporty little number. So what do you think of the all-new Civic? Let us know what you think down in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is Jason Toya from Top Gear Philippines, and I'll see you next time.